The moment you see copper oxidizing in your Minecraft world, you'll realize we're witnessing the biggest shift in game mechanics since redstone was introduced. What Mojang has planned for the Copper Age update isn't just another material addition, it's a complete transformation of how we interact with time, progression and automation in Minecraft. By the end of this video, you'll understand why veteran players are calling this the most significant update since beta, and why your current building strategies are about to become obsolete. Let me start with a controversial statement that's going to upset some of you. Minecraft has been fundamentally broken for years, and most players don't even realize it. We've been living in a world where materials either exist in their perfect state forever, or they don't exist at all. Stone stays stone, iron stays iron, and diamond stays diamond for eternity. This binary existence has created a gameplay loop that prioritizes immediate gratification over long-term planning, and it's exactly why so many worlds feel abandoned after the initial excitement fades. The Copper Age update shatters this paradigm completely. For the first time in Minecraft's history, we're getting materials that actively change based on time and environmental factors. But here's what most coverage isn't telling you. This isn't just about copper turning green. The underlying systems being introduced will fundamentally alter how every material in the game behaves, creating cascading effects that will touch every aspect of gameplay from early survival to late-game automation. Let's analyze the core mechanics first. Copper oxidation operates on a probability-based system that checks adjacent blocks every random tick. When exposed to air and moisture, copper blocks have a chance to advance through 4 distinct oxidation states: fresh copper, lightly weathered, semi-weathered, and fully oxidized. Each state changes not only the appearance but also the functional properties of the block. Fresh copper conducts redstone signals with 100% efficiency, while fully oxidized copper reduces signal strength by 25% per block. This creates the first real-time resource management system in Minecraft's history. Unlike durability, which only decreases through active use, oxidation happens passively based on environmental conditions. Your copper roof will slowly turn green whether you're actively playing or not, but the rate depends on biome humidity, exposure to rain, proximity to water sources, and even the time of day when certain weather patterns occur. But here's where it gets mathematically interesting. The oxidation algorithm considers a 3x3x3 cube around each copper block, checking for air exposure, water proximity, and existing oxidation states of neighboring copper. This means large copper structures will oxidize from the outside in, creating natural weathering patterns that mirror real-world chemistry. A solid copper cube will maintain its fresh state in the center long after the exterior has fully oxidized, while thin copper sheets will weather uniformly across their entire surface. The implications for redstone engineering are staggering. Traditional redstone circuits rely on predictable signal strength and timing. With copper's degrading conductivity, circuits will naturally slow down and weaken over time, forcing engineers to build adaptive systems that account for signal degradation. This isn't a bug, it's a feature that adds temporal complexity to automation systems. Early testing reveals that players will need to implement maintenance schedules for the first time in Minecraft history. Copper-based farms and contraptions will require periodic restoration using honeycomb wax, which prevents further oxidation but doesn't reverse existing weathering. This creates a resource economy around preservation materials and introduces genuine decision-making about which systems deserve long-term maintenance versus planned obsolescence. The building implications extend far beyond aesthetics. Copper's weathering properties make it ideal for creating structures that naturally age and develop character over time. A fresh copper cathedral will gradually develop a patina that tells the story of its existence, with different sections aging at different rates based on their exposure to elements. This organic aging process creates unique visual narratives that emerge naturally from gameplay rather than deliberate player action. From a game design perspective, this update addresses one of Minecraft's longest-standing problems: the lack of meaningful consequence for time passage. Most Minecraft worlds exist in a temporal vacuum where the passage of days and seasons has minimal impact on the built environment. Copper oxidation introduces the first mechanic that makes time itself a gameplay element, forcing players to consider long-term planning and maintenance in ways the game has never required before. The economic ramifications deserve serious analysis. Copper ore generation follows a different distribution pattern than existing materials, appearing in larger veins at specific elevation ranges. This concentrated distribution means copper mining will require different strategies than iron or diamond hunting. Players will need to establish dedicated copper mining operations rather than collecting it passively during other activities. More significantly, the oxidation system creates the first renewable building material that can exist in multiple functional states. Players can harvest copper at any oxidation level, creating a complex economy around aged versus fresh materials. Fully oxidized copper becomes a valuable building material for specific aesthetic purposes, while fresh copper remains essential for functional applications. The update also introduces waxing as a preservation mechanic, but the honeycomb requirements create interesting resource prioritization decisions. Players must choose between using honeycomb for food production, redstone engineering, or material preservation. This three-way resource competition adds economic depth that's been missing from Minecraft's traditionally abundant resource model. Technical players should understand that oxidation calculations happen during chunk loading, meaning copper structures will age differently based on player activity patterns. Frequently visited areas will experience regular oxidation updates, while distant structures might remain frozen in their current state until revisited. This creates subtle but significant differences in aging patterns that reflect actual player engagement with different parts of their world. The Copper Age update represents more than new content. It's a fundamental shift toward dynamic time-based gameplay systems that will influence how future materials and mechanics are designed. Understanding these systems now positions you ahead of the curve for whatever temporal mechanics come next. Your homework is simple but crucial. Start experimenting with copper oxidation rates in different environments. Document how various factors affect weathering speed. Most importantly, begin redesigning your building and redstone projects to account for materials that change over time, because this is only the beginning of Minecraft's evolution into a truly dynamic world.